Greetings, my friends. It is I, Kolar the Unkilled. Finally back in Tamriel. Ha ha! And as I look at this new tree mod, well, it's not new at this point, but it is new to me, I figured why not share my thoughts and critiques with those of you out there who may also be wondering about this same tree mod for Skyrim Xbox. It is Wigfrid's Skyrim Tree Replacer, originally by Wigfrid09, ported by Skyfall, and Thumout to Skyfall, for continuing to give Xbox users all of these wonderful varieties of tree mods to enjoy and appreciate. Now grab your beverage of choice, my friends, and let us commence looking at trees. First stop, Whiterun. And of course, you are not going to have all of these trees in your Whiterun unless you are running the Autumn of Whiterun mod, like I am. I prefer the lantern-free version. It's a mod that I always have in my load order. It simply renders Whiterun a much more aesthetic place to be. Now, but it is Wigfrid's mods that are generating these tree models and textures. So let us take a closer look. When I scrutinize the bark, it looks good. From here, it holds up. What happens if we get nose deep? Ooh. Yes. Okay, so as long as you maintain the socially accepted distance of 6 feet or so, the trunks look just fine. You'll not notice any low-res textures unless you go around sniffing all the tree trunks. Here's something I noticed, though. Aside from the variety in the sizes of trees, I'm also seeing multiple colors. Look, here's some green trees. I don't normally get those with Autumn of Whiterun. Usually they're just all the golden yellow color. So here we have some green mixed in. It's as if it is a very early autumn, just changing. Excellent. I really like how that looks. And performance-wise, my frames do not seem to be affected. Now, this tree mod does not touch the Gilder Green or the Elder Gleam trees, so those remain vanilla. I mean, it doesn't look so bad, especially when you consider how good the rest of this is looking. Astounding. The pines of Riverwood are looking good. Very realistic shape to the tree and the branches. These trees seem a bit more sparse than, say, Happy Little Trees pines, but they are very realistic. Good realistic pine texture, bark texture as well. I could always do without these 2D branches that hang low. The bark texture holds up, though, as long as you don't get right up on it, like I mentioned earlier. And yes, look at the variety of sizes that we have here. There's a tree that looks a bit more dead. That's good. There's a really small one. I like variety. Every forest should be filled with trees that look unique and different from each other. Look at how sparse some of these are. Entering into the Morthal swamp area, I thought I might have a look at night, just to see how these models and this mod lends itself to a more creepy, ominous ambiance. Now, keep in mind, these Mythical Ages nights are quite bright, so this would look even better if you're running some kind of a Darker Nights or a weather mod that includes Darker Nights. The look here, though, seems very authentic. Let's have a look during the day, shall we? And now it's raining, but that's okay for these purposes. There isn't nearly as much color here anyway, is there? Dang. And here is a more vibrant area that I really like, heavily pine forested. Anybody know where this is? You know this spot? The grass mod. The grass your mother warned about. Or not your mama's grass, as I call it, lends itself very well to this area. It looks great here. This forest looks great, in my opinion. And as you can see in the more heavily forested areas, lods aren't going to be an issue. Trees of the Reach tend to be rather hit or miss when it comes to tree mods. This doesn't look bad. Bit different from what we're used to. Now, I don't care for this particular bark texture at all, quite honestly. Even from a bit of a distance, it looks a bit like the paint is running. It reminds me a bit of Jupiter, in fact, if you can see that. Okay, so this would be, in my mind, probably the low point of this particular tree replacer. Now, they don't look all bad, at least from a whoa. Look at this. The Reach is the area in which I probably spend the least amount of time, my friends. It's a vast area. There just isn't a whole lot out here to see, unless you do enjoy mountain vistas. Those are always nice. And it is such with distant mountains that the lods become an issue. That is rather common with tree mods. Now keep in mind as well, ow, hey, she's off her tits, as Nesbit would say. Keep in mind what you're getting for this mod's size. It's 66 or so megabytes. So if you added LODs, it would bring it up closer to probably 90 or 100. So it is a tree mod for those on a budget. And for the price you pay for it, I would say it is a very good one. Whoa. I have to admit, my friends, that movement freaks me out a little bit. It's undulating, like a living creature. And now we'll take a look at the trees of the Rift. Let's see what we have. Once again, good variety of sizes and colors. Okay, let me get to a less orange time of day. That's better. We have tall trees, we have small trees, brown, golden, and green trees. Mostly aspens, but there are some pines as well. Ah! Oh. Oh, for the love of Talos. The pine forests of Falkreath is home to some of the tallest trees in all of Skyrim. I'm here to check out frame rates, which seem about what they typically are in this area. And Directly up ahead, I see some billboard trees. Let's see how long it takes for those to pop in. Ah, there it goes. Now, some of that delay may also be due to the sheer number of graphical mods I have running on the Xbox, limitations of the console. Certain things will take longer to render, such as billboard trees turning into actual trees. That can be affected by the number of mods you're running. Overall, this forest looks rather authentic, although look at the tops of some of these trees here in the distance. Is it just me, or do the very tops seem a bit insubstantial? Almost like there's things just floating up there. Do you see what I mean? Of course, once you get further up upon them, it becomes less so. But that is bothering me just a bit here. And now let's have a look at some snowy trees. Always important to have good-looking snow trees, ones that don't look like they've simply been spray-painted white, as these somewhat do. Although that's not too bad looking. Let's get a closer look at the larger trees here. I'd say overall these are about middle of the range. I have seen better snow trees. I've also seen much worse. And speaking of spray paint, I'm not really a fan of the bottom section of the trunk being coated there. Well, I'm just not a fan of that. Maybe some of you like that. I don't think that's necessary at all. In conclusion, my friends, I'll state that Wigfrid's Skyrim Tree Replacer is a well-done mod. I have not experienced or seen any technical issues. If one can get past the relative lack of lushness in the pines and somewhat ghostly-looking treetops. But, once again, keep in mind the file size, which is relatively small for a mod that replaces every tree in the game. And also remember that there is no perfect tree mod out there. Each and every one of them is flawed in some way. Thank you for watching, my friends. I remain Kolar the Unkilled. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.